Hello, hello. I said I was lead up, right?
No.
Ooh, no. Okay, fine. I said I lead up, but whatever. all right. Go ahead. All right. Sorry about that. This is our daily race here on Speed Gaming Prime. We have Captain 1977 and Jesse, also known as Red School Cypher 99, on standard 80 keys. One of the modes that is being used for the 80 keys tournament, or probably has already been used, but I don't know. I'm Professor Renderer. I'm joined with Jaxie.
and I'm Jaxie. All right. So standard 80 keys. It's 80 keys, but we do the escape first. That's literally it. That's all that's special about this mode.
You can tell.
I guess this, guaranteed starting weapon is kind of nice.
Yeah, you can tell we're kind of flustered because we didn't coordinate real that well on who's gonna start so.
Yeah, we're probably a lot more composed now.
Probably, yeah. I will say though, this early sync is really cool. And so is that bow start.
Bow is not bad. I mean, like, we of course do need to find Eastern Big Key and things like that, but bow's a pretty nice weapon. It's got some range to it, and it does. I believe it does Master Sword damage.
I believe that's the case. I don't know, but but I will say, I mean, it's personally in terms of like a tier list. If you make a tier list out of like standard weapons that you start with on random swords, I would say bow is roughly around the A position, like A tier, probably S tier. Well, probably more so A tier because sword will always be S tier in this case.
Is standard escape with randomized swords? Usually, I actually like getting the hammer.
Hammers is a solid is also a solid A tier. Just because you have you've got the tempered sword damage, but at the cost of having the range, a very small hitbox. But personally, I kind of also say bombs are kind of S tier in my opinion, but just because you have bombs for the backup escape, and if you know how to handle the dealing with the bomb escape, you can be sure that you'll have bombs coming out of the escape no matter for that backup escape check.
I hate the bomb start because my execution is not as good as some of these runners, so I always screw up, bomb strats like like by the second room I already screw up.
Mm-hmm. Personally, my worst, my least favorites of the standardist ones is actually Burna, just because it cuts through so much magic really fast. For the cost to use it, and then the eventual ticking down of the magic for each use of each second of the cape or of the invulnerability being used.
I actually like Burna Escape just because I can actually do that one kind of well. We're getting off track. So we found the key that we need to get through sewers. We knew we were going to find it, at least in these first 4 checks. We're about to go and hit Dark Cross right now.
Yeah, given the fact this is a standard escape, the logic has to put these the Hell Castle Small here, just because if without it, well, how are you supposed to get out of the escape?
Major glitches. No, it's just not no logic.
if we only were in Swamp Palace and it was HMG, and that way we could do Specky Clip.
I'm not going to talk about that.
That's the only reference of this that you're gonna get in this stream, by the way.
Yeah. So I do think we picked up bombs. I think we picked them up in the Uncle chest. So we are able to get the back escape. Now, one of the things that I personally like about 80 Keys is that it's a mode that really capitalizes on how efficient you are in your routing. Like, how efficient can you get like certain checks done, and certain risks that you would probably do in 80 Keys tend to be very calculated. Like, you're gonna put off this check because, oh, I can just pair it in with this one and things like that. Or you can just be like me and say catfish does not exist and I will never check it. And then it has the GT big key because of course it does.
So to answer a question from from the chat, given that this is a standard start and this is a randomizer, it's not the game won't expect you to have the lamp coming out of the escape. So the game is coded so that Zelda will have a lamp cone with you, and if you come back through the escape for whatever reason, that lamp cone is still there.
Yeah, so it ensures that logically you can still get those 3 items in the back even without the glove in a standard escape.
Yeah. And given that we already have bombs anyway, it doesn't really matter. So it's just more of a point that is by the logic. It can come up because given this is a randomizer we're talking about, so it has a chance for it to pop up, but it's not common.
We're getting a lumberjack check already? Wow. I mean, I guess since you're just heading into Lost Woods, I guess you could do this. It's a 100, so probably not going to be getting that.
Plus, it's also 80 keys. So with the 80 portion, you may need to kill Aga early just to get that one dungeon out of the way for either the item or for the Dark World access.
The best seeds for 80 keys are the ones where you could do Aga Tower last, because then you don't have to deal with the Light World Overworld state being changed so that now there are guards everywhere and they will chase you down. And red guards are annoying because they move very fast.
So to kind of bring everything back up to speed, so at the back of Escape, there was a red potion, red bottle of a red potion in it, and then we had Pod Big. So, two good finds.
Yeah, Pod Big is pretty nice. Although, it's not really that useful without some Pod Smalls.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good to have it in the back pocket anyway, so we're not really that complaining. We're also not complaining about that Moon Pearl that showed up here, as well as that Eastern Big.
And that is exactly something we were looking for, because now both Radical Sniper and Captain 1977 could go and full clear Eastern if they wanted to. However, they are probably going to wait until they are able to pair it in with Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean that can work, especially in the case where we did see a mirror. So that is you can they have that option to pair that up once they have the tools necessary to do so.
Yeah, Pod is a lot of checks, so We want to go in there with a few keys, at least on the first dip.
And with that lamp, especially that lamp makes it interesting because now that lamp, with said lamp, that means Eastern Palace is fully in logic. But even then, we're still probably waiting for, we're waiting for a way to pair it up. So we hammer and then a bunch of keys. So, really quick though, Captain ended up not running out of bombs. Come the well, and just got bailed out by those bombs that we saw from Jesse's perspective.
So I think, did we find the swamp big?
Yes.
Okay, so that is one of 2 big keys that we actually would rather, like, we don't really care about them because they only unlock one single check. And not to mention that in Swamp's case, that check is locked behind the Swamp Small and the hammer. Meanwhile, at least in Skull's case, you can just bomb jump to get that big chest. Although there are other big keys that we don't necessarily mind seeing, but we don't really care if we don't get them. Those being Hera's, Ice. Basically those 2, yeah.
Yeah. Hera used to have some prevalence up until Herapot's introduction. But now it's not really that necessary. However, what is necessary is that Ice Rod.
That's good because we basically have 3 Ice Rods that we're hunting for in an 80 keys. We have the Ice Rod, and then we have the 2 Castle Tower small keys, which is everyone's favorite go mode. That totally never happens.
See, if we were playing with the tournament fad keys, we wouldn't be talking about this. But given that this is regular 80 keys, we have to talk about that because those 2 Castle Tower smalls are now wilds. So if anyone who's coming from the main tournament, and why we bring it up, that's why.
Yes, and unlike the Ice Rod, which cannot be on Trinix, the CT smalls can be literally anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Trinix and Turtle Rock by extension, the Green Pennant is set up in Turtle Rock. No surprise. Well, some people like to think that because of the early Ice Rod, but this is 80 keys, so we have to get it out of the way. So,
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of running. I mean, we have South Shore. But I mean, we can full clear this, so it's not a bad play. Especially if there's something here, but usually I prefer to put this off until I can at least do pod with it.
Yeah, and with this Eastern play that we're seeing from both Jesse and Captain, this makes sense because this is a dungeon that is completable, and it has value in it because we found gloves. Captain will find that in just a second.
So we found a glove in the cannonball chest, which there's not another glove anywhere convenient, then that means that pairing pod in Eastern was never going to be a possibility.
Yeah, if we had a whole bunch of pod smalls very early on and a hammer on top of what we had, then we wouldn't have this discussion. But here it's at that point it is kind of necessary. I wasn't really thinking of the pairing in the first place of trying to pair that up, just given what we saw. we're kind of pressed for small keys. We only have like 3 of them. That we know that is not guaranteed to us. And then we have the 3 big keys, 2 of which are currently of prevalence.
Find an ether medallion in the big chest. That might come in handy, but again, it's to be determined.
Now, it's nice that we have 2 medallions already, because we are kind of close to not caring about medallions if we find Bombos. Because if we do, then well, we don't really care about what medallions is on the 2 medallion dungeons anyway. So we'll just eat good. Sure, we need a sword. We'll need a sword to actually use them, but it's there. And there's our first of 6 pause balls. At the minimum, you need at least either like 4 or 5.
Yeah, so you can full clear with 4, but doing so requires you to go down the Bowlock side 3 times. And in the context of efficiency, it's not really an efficient play because you're just going down the bow side and that takes time. If I'm in go mode and I have 4 pod smalls, like, it doesn't really matter because I'm in go mode, but...
Correct. Yeah. And we actually just saw from Jesse a room that isn't really common, but it makes sense given what the intent here is. Jesse went down the right path to get the rupee pool picked up.
Yeah, that's not a room you see a lot, but that can come in handy for, like money later on.
Yeah, I think the intention here is Zora coming up. I believe the intention.
Zora is in logic, so yeah, that might be his plan.
And we also saw from the Igors that they had the big pack, so not that entirely important for Jesse, because we're sitting here at 3 out of 5 hearts on an Armos fight, which is going to be really easy.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So Captain lost too much health and he had to deal with the puzzle the vanilla way. By the way, that was a very clean, quick kill from Radical Sniper and drawing first blood at 17:15.
I haven't used that term in a good while. That is the first blood of the first dungeon that is completed, and it turns out to be a crystal. Whether it be a 5/6, we don't know yet. This is actually a little bit dangerous for Captain.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah, those Igors can be pretty annoying. Alright, so now Radical Sniper is going to go ahead and do South Shore. Looks like he's going to be doing the dam. And probably go mini Moldorm Cave to ice.
Yeah, that's the common route. Some people will do mini Moldorm first and then work their way to the left to get Aginas.
Yeah, that's something you can do, but it requires you to do a save and quit. If you're going mini Moldorm to Ice Rod and then you do Dam to Agina, that just requires a save and quit, which means more walking. And in early game, you kind of just have to think about it. Oh, actually, he's making a liar out of me. He's doing Dam to Agina.
So this is interesting because if you
oh no, he's not. He's getting money.
Okay, which that makes more sense because you're actually right now you're sitting at 448. So really you just need one pass through. But maybe a second pass through might be necessary. But we are gonna see this play come out from Jesse. To be honest, this is an interesting call. very interesting call, especially for Jesse.
Yeah, usually in early game I tend to like orphaning Agina.
Most people like to fade that just because it's very out of the way, and most of the density comes from doing again from doing
we need that.
I was gonna say though, most of the density comes from doing mini Moldorm Cave. So that play ended up really working really well for Jesse, getting that GT big.
Right, also, now it looks like it's doing mini Moldorm to Ice Rod.
Yeah, and yes, GT big is wild. Again, if you're coming from the main tournament, you'd be surprised that yes, normally the GT big is in fact wild and not placed in its own dungeon. So really, we wouldn't be doing a guessing game either. Like no matter what if we tried. Also, just quickly, we did see from Jesse the first map, but it's just the Hyrule Castle, so it's not really that necessary. But what is necessary is those boots. Well, nice to have at least.
Yeah, we definitely want those. Boots do unlock some checks for us, and they also allow us to water walk. And given that we have a Moon Pearl, we can keep that water walk after checking Waterfall Fairy.
Yeah. It's a good thing that we found it right here, especially because Jesse did get to the money that he needed to check Zora. Using the money that he picked up from the back of Eastern on that right entrance, that right door. Oh, hey, hookshot.
The hookshot's really nice, yeah.
That's East Step Mountain, right, available to us?
Yeah. And the mountain's pretty nice in 80 keys because it's got a lot of checks.
Yeah, we can do a whole lot of checks as well because we have Mirror to do Hera, and then we have hookshots that we just picked up right here in Ice Rod Cave. So anyone who decides to, whoever is a Ice Rod Cave skipper is going to be in complete shambles. But that hookshot gives us East Step Mountains. We have a good chunk of the mountain available to us, if not all of it. That's in the light world, that is.
Yeah. Alright, so this isn't in Logic, and it was just 3 bombs. We also saw that there was a sword on Lake Hylia Island. I imagine that we'll probably be getting that.
That is water walkable, by the way. Or sorry, water walkable. Splash leadable from the Dark World.
Is it though? Because can you not mirror when you can't mirror when you're swimming though, right?
I think you can you? I think you can.
I've never tried it, so
unless I'm making a liar out of myself, and I thought you could splash delete. I haven't really tested it.
I mean, you can splash delete.
Well, I know.
What benefit would that give you?
Well, yeah, I'm the kind of what the point is I thought you could do something like I thought you could do that just because it would make sense, but I guess if that's not the case, then ignore the bear in the room here.
We get a small key to Turtle Rock. That's nice. So Turtle Rock is pretty interesting because, well, at least in Key Sanity, because most often what you see people do in 80 keys is they will actually steal the key for Lava Chest and they will skip Lava Chest entirely, which allows us to skip a key.
and I'll be honest here. That actually is not a bad that's not a bad find for on Zora. Small a turtle rock small. You do need all of them to complete the dungeon, at least to be in logic. But so it's not a bad find.
Yeah, it's only a bad play when there's actually something in the lava chest, because if there is something in lava chest and you full clear Turtle Rock, you last locate that and you full clear the game looking for the last TR small.
But at that point, I think that's mostly just like your decision that end up paying out badly.
Yeah, and I mean there were seeds that I've played where I decided to go to TR first, and I went on 3 keys. But then it turns out there was progression in lava chest, and I full cleared the entire game. And then I gave the seed to someone else, and they saved literally 20 minutes because they went to TR after. I can't even remember the seed at this point.
Well, basically what we're trying to get at is it's a one decision can make a huge difference, and if you skip and end up making a skip, that effectively is your own fault. Not to offend anyone, but just kind of what the nature of the beast is.
Yeah. All right. So Tower of Hera right now, it's a little bit unfortunate because we can do Hera Pot, but we don't have a sword or a hammer to kill Moldorm with.
Right. That Turtle Rock Big's good though.
Yeah. And yeah, Jesse is wisely not going to do Hera Pot. Some people will, but I don't agree with doing that.
And it's especially not a good play in 80 keys when you don't have your Hera Big anyway. That you're only going in for one check in this scenario, and you don't even have a Hera Small to go do a Hera Basement. So no matter what, you're doing one extra check if you do a Hera Pod. So it's not really a good play in general if you were to Hera Pod that way. But we do have Dark World access via Mitts, partially, as I like to put it, because we don't have a hammer or flippers or anything to give us access to the right side.
Now we can sequence break the East Dark World by doing a turn jump, which in some scenarios it is actually a good idea to do it. But usually it's better off to just wait.
In a 80 keys setting, especially, where you have to kill Aga to complete the game as well, the current jump only delays it to the back to the endings. If you to the very end, that's a nice, that's a spicy hammer. That's a spicy.
So yeah, screw what I was saying.
All right, so and next screw what I was saying as well, because that means we have full Dark World access by this, and it's actually interesting too because we have to go through Super Bunny Cave to get that.
Yeah, so Mitts is really nice to get up here because we get to do Dark Death Mountain in addition to being able to do East Death Mountain, which is really nice. You feel really good about being able to get all of these checks done and over with.
Right. It's always a good feeling to have the ability to clear out the entirety of the mountain, and with that. And with that hammer, we also have access to Moldorm. We can kill that, but we are leaving out Hera Basement and Hera Big Chest by doing this.
Yeah, in 80 keys though, those are 2 checks that if you can kill Moldorm, you honestly don't mind leaving them behind.
Yeah, if you can kill Moldorm early, then that's perfectly acceptable. Just because Hera Big isn't really that important to us with in a post Terrapot world. Also, that is Ether being required for Turtle Rock.
All right, coming up now is Hookshot Cave. 4 checks. Big 20 to start. Another pod key, which is really nice.
So really, the only thing of note is that pod spawn.
Yeah, I do believe that is Jesse's second.
Yes, that is the second pod spawn that we've seen from Jesse.
Get the hammer. Probably gonna kill Moldorm. Yeah.
Yeah, with the hammer that you just picked up, it makes sense to go and kill Moldorm now.
Yeah, I don't see why you would wait.
Alright, let's see what Okay,
You
we're gonna
got
go.
everything you need to kill Moldorm. I don't see waiting. That was a really nice spin speed setup.
Yeah, that was very clean from Jesse. I was actually wondering which setup he was going to use, and that spin speed ended up being on first try, so that worked out. There's another pod spell here in Hera, locked behind that big key. And Captain will go through into Hera as well, but this will be Captain's first run through here. So we got the information. So Captain chose to pick up the map, whereas Jesse did not, and that is only for Skull Woods.
Yeah, maps matter somewhat in Ikis, but because it's all dungeons, like, we can safely ignore maps. Although they are helpful in cases of, like, you know, like, this is, you know, like, this is what can't be in GT, and whether or not you can just, you know, start rushing dungeons at some point.
Correct. And we're going to see Jesse going for this Spike Cave play. I'm wondering if I think he's got a fairy in this, no?
I have no idea. I think he has a red?
He's got a red, yes. So this is out of logic because we don't have enough hearts to make this in logic.
Well, not only that, but we don't even have an invincibility item.
Not even an invulnerability item, yeah. No vulnerability item, and also not enough hearts to count to make it in logic. But that gets the job done. And it also looks like we also got the Sank card from Jesse, according to our chat members. And we're gonna see this King's Tomb play come out, which is just a heart piece.
So we're going to be doing Village of Outcasts next, and unfortunately we do not have the big key to Thieves Town, so we cannot clear on the first dip, but we can get 4 items in the front. And Skull Woods, you can get 5 items. like we're doing Skull first.
Not a bad call early on, because we are going to be because of the fire rod. We don't have the fire rod yet, but we have checks we can do. Captain has also chosen to see what Johnny Two Bombs is up to.
Alright, so Hype Cave so far is yielding a fetch quest, which that can be routed in with Stumpy.
If I wanted to make a guess about what Johnny Two Bombs is up to, he's probably cashing in his earnings from the dig game. That's my guess.
5/6s are Mire and Thieves.
So not terrible ones, but we could but that desert. Sorry. Okay, first of all, that's Pyramid Fairy is kind of as pretty out of the way, but more importantly, Jesse did find Samaria here.
Yeah, so and okay, both canes are just sitting in Skull. Cool.
Cute.
So Pyramid is sort of a check that does become a little bit inconvenient in 80 keys, so usually you'll try to pair it with, like, in a regular 80 key seed, you'd pair it with doing Front of Escape and Uncle if you are able to. Otherwise, you would pair it in with Pyramid Fairy.
Right, but given this is a standard, really your only pairing ends up being Pod, really.
Yeah, you can do Pod. Speaking of Pod, that's exactly where Captain is right now. Found a GT small, which those will be nice if it's a CT go mode.
Yeah, if you only need like one GT small to bring everything to get everything in the game, to get in that dungeon. So having a GT small in your pocket helps.
Oh wait, is he doing? Did he do the bow side first?
Yes, Captain is doing the bow lock side first.
Oh, there's a cape, so we can get that useless compass on.
On what bumper ledge?
Yeah. I'm okay. So Captain's deciding to kill Halmasaur early, and yeah, this is something you can do.
I don't necessarily think that. It makes sense, but I don't think it's the right call because you have a lot of stuff to do in the back.
Yeah. Usually, I prioritize, like, if I can get more items. Usually we'll prefer that. Because again, density.
A lot of I think the call. I mean, again, it makes sense because you just found out it's a crystal, because of that map. But But yeah, it I think it really you could probably wait until you hit the back first.
Yeah, in AD keys, I'm 100% waiting on killing Helmasaur until, you know, I've done at least a good amount of checks.
So to bring it over to Jesse's side really quick, we did find the book, and we also importantly found a sword. That was sitting in the first floor checks of Thieves Town. Which of which we are the only things that in Thieves Town that we have access to because of the lack of the Thieves Town big.
Here's another GT small.
That'd be for the second crystal. For the second crystal on Captain's side. That overall being the second dungeon that is completed. Jesse has, and both players did clear Eastern, or sorry, Hera.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I don't think Jesse has been to pod yet, so that's actually marked on the wrong player.
Yeah. We get what we get where it is though, which
Yeah.
one did the clear.
Mm-hmm. Tracking is hard. I can confirm that.
Tracking is the only reason why I'm a commentator, because I do not like tracking, personally speaking. It's too much for me to handle, too much for me to wrap my hand, and I get easily distracted.
I mean, the one thing I love about doing tracking for speed gaming is that I'm in control of the audio. So I just use the opportunity to, at least in 2-player, 4-player restreams, to try and switch the audio as much as possible. Because we're using MSUs now. Back then it wouldn't have mattered, but now that we have MSUs, you know, there are a lot of really good packs.
Oh yeah. We're also seeing a fake powder from Jesse, because we got a mushroom. I have no idea where that went. But it is for a big key for Thieves. That's big.
Okay, that is probably that is a rare instance where a fake powder actually is useful.
Yeah, that ended up being a really solid play for Jesse. That is a powder required, but we just sequence broke that.
Yeah, Andy is the Thief Small as well, so he can just full clear this dungeon without a care in the world. But he's going to do. Oh no, he's not doing purple chest. He's going to do Thieves and then purple chest.
Yeah, Thieves, then the purple chest, which makes sense.
Chat is asking what the goal of this run. So this is all dungeons. We have to kill every single boss, including Ago 1 and 2, before we can begin. And it's also key sanity, which means all of the dungeon items, maps, compasses, small keys, and big keys are shuffled in the wild. They can be anywhere. This is one of my personal favorite modes, just because it does provide emphasis on, you know, routing and also execution as well.
Yeah, it and we also have the standard condition, which it's only applicable for the start of the game, where we are given a random weapon to start off, and we have to go through the escape with that weapon. In our case, that was a bow. So yeah, this so far actually has been working out pretty well for Jesse. The decisions that he's made with the fake powder end up paying out. A lot of these plays that he ended up doing are working out good for Jesse. Not to say that Captain's decisions haven't been too bad either, I mean, he did get the pod. He did get the pod clear done, although with only 3 keys, and chose to go for the helmet clear first before going to the back. But it's still that is still a clear.
Yeah, doing Helma on 3 keys is not something I entirely agree with unless I'm in go mode or like 1 item from go mode.
I think it's more of like a gambling play. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're going up against someone like Jesse, and in order to win against someone like Jesse, you either need to have as good execution as Jesse, or you need to make crazy gambles that pay off.
Yes. And this is the case. I mean, we're dealing with someone. This is Jesse we're talking about. Jesse had made it through up until the round of 16. Made the top 16 before bowing out of the main tournament by Schulzer. So we're dealing with a really established runner here. And with that, and yeah, okay, I was gonna say with that that was we were talking about that. That was a clear by Jesse for the Thieves Town of Thieves Town that gave him a bottle with a bee in it. Never really that amused by that, but unless it's a good base, which means that I can just get a free 100 rupees.
So, you may have noticed that when Jesse went into Thieves Town, that he left the purple chest at the doorstep, but when he left, it was not there. So, the crystal. So this game is really weirdly coded. The crystal animation, at least picking up the crystal, acts as a follower, and it overwrites any followers that you have. So in this case, the purple chest disappeared and you had to go and get it again, but it's not really much of a loss of time.
Yeah, the game only really can have one follower at a time. So really, you the one follower that we really the maiden also overrated even before the crystal pickup, which also counts as a follower.
Good point.
Which, I mean, again, not a bad play by any means, because it makes sense for you to go in with the purple chest, and then later on just pick it up again because you're going to be clearing this anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to leave that out. Just to run back there. I think Captain was trying to send a message to me and saying that he doesn't want that shield by having that light try to grab it.
Some people can be very divided on shields. I personally do not care. I think a shield is a shield. It can help in some aspects, but I do get the argument for opposing them.
I'm more of an anti-shield person, more on a technical level, more than like say Lana Bean's perspective where it blocks the sprites. It's more so that every shield, no matter what level it is, will always lag. I will introduce a bit of lag into the game. So really and a lot of people will say like, oh wait, no, but what do you mean the mirror shield is the one that lags. No, that's not the case. Every shield, even the dinky little fire shield that you get at the start of the game, also lags. It's a common misconception.
Okay, so Jesse's gonna be doing CT. We can get in with the cape. We do not have any small keys for this dungeon, so after the first chest, we are leaving, unless we have a small key, in which case we can continue.
Yeah, this is just a play to get an extra check, which that's not a bad play at all. It's a big key for desert.
That is something you do like to see. So, yeah, so we can clear desert.
Yeah, and again, this is another case where like his plays have end up being working out pretty well. These plays that would normally, if you were playing, now see, here's the thing, I wouldn't think to go and do like Castle Tower early in an 80 keys environment.
I would.
Yeah.
I would in this situation I would be doing exactly what Jesse is doing.
Like not even in like this current seat, like in general, I would never be thinking to do this play. Even if there's a reason to do it.
So wait, did Captain already turn the mushroom? I can't remember.
I don't believe so.
Does he even have it?
I don't believe he has the mushroom.
Okay. Well, yeah. So now is a good time as any to be able to do catfish because we can just pair it in with the mushroom check.
Yeah, we did see that come out from Captain, which it wasn't anything of note, but in Jesse's perspective, it makes sense.
Yeah, and that's again, it's all about routing efficiency. Like like you don't want to have to retrace ground that you don't need to, and in some cases that usually means putting off checks that are just openly accessible to you so that you can get them at a later time, like this, for example.
Yeah, this is just this is where efficient routing, like knowing how to efficiently route, really factors in. Like
Go ahead.
I see myself as an okay enough efficient router, but not like the extreme. I'm not like extremely like the best of efficient routing, but I know how to do a decent routes when I was still playing competitively. That is.
Yeah, and I used to be a cross keys player, and now I've shifted more towards doing 80 keys, and over time I definitely have gotten better at thinking about routes and planning ahead. And then also at the same time I've gotten worse at luck because I always end up last locating something early on in the game, which loses me a lot of time.
Yeah, it's really, of course, very subjective. What you how you route and stuff. So here for Jesse, this is a pod play coming up, which makes more sense here because we have 4 small keys for Jesse.
Now I wonder if he's going to clear on 4. Or if he's going to full clear on 4, or if he's going to leave behind the vanilla big key chest.
We'll see what this turns out to be, because we are going to see that first door open up.
Chad is bringing up locations that are never good to check. Ice Rod Cave is good, is fine to check you know, in like early game when you can do like mini Moldorm Cave with it, that's basically the best time to do it. The other good time to do it is once you have the flute.
Yeah, which at that point is relatively late into the game. It could be earlier. If it was earlier, then it's fine. But if it's later on in the game, then that starts to really weigh in. Because if you are an early Ice Rod cave skipper, which in the context of this seed is actually going to be a big problem because that hookshot was there.
Yeah. Now, because of the fact that, you know, Hammer is on, you know, East Death Mountain, you'll get funneled into that hookshot pretty quickly. Oh, and Mitts as well, actually. I didn't even think about that. So it sucks if you last located, but it's just, at the same time, it's not really that big of an issue.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's not terrible by any means, but so for now, Jesse has I think Jesse has gotten all of the back done, and Captain will be in position to do a fake powder, which will result in that Thieves Town big. The only difference with this is that he does not have the Thieves Town small, which that's fine because the Thieves Town big chest didn't have anything of note. But he won't know this obviously, but from what we know, this won't be a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not going to be terrible, but I mean, when you last locate these big chests, that's going to be something that always just weighs on your mind, because in the event that it does turn out to be progression, at that point, and I say this many times when I do comps, like for Sandy, if there's progression in these big chests and you last located it, you just lose. Like there's no other way to go about it. Like if there is progression in these big chests, I just lose the game.
Right. So for now, Jesse will head to the back, only leaving out the big heat chest, which again, that's not terrible with key sanity environments where you're better off just going having four keys, 4 or 5 keys at most to try and 4 keys to mostly clear out, full clear the entire dungeon. Of course, without the lack of one item that you choose.
Yeah, and Pod Big Key Chest is honestly not one of the worst things to orphan because, I mean, it is orphaning a single check, but at the same time, it's also basically right in the front of the dungeon.
Okay, so that is a Hemisar completed for Jesse, and that will be another crystal on the board. That's in total 4 dungeons completed because Hera was in fact completed by both runners. So hasn't been marked off yet, but. So we're about to reach the hour mark in about a minute or so. I might as well pull this off early because that's kind of what we do here. So go ahead and just give myself, Jaxie, and our tracker Raka a follow, along with Jesse, also known as Reticle 799, and Captain 1977. We are on Speed Gaming Prime for the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race. The mode is Standard AD Keys. And this is out of, these two runners are out of a pool of 9 other runners. Of 9 runners, 7 other runners are racing alongside these two.
Looks like Jesse's going to give us a bonk. No, he's gonna. Looks like he's going to desert. Which, yeah, I think this is definitely something you do now.
This is definitely a play that you make. You got desert big here.
Yeah, and the fact that we would be, you know, leaving behind 2 checks on the right side of desert. They are at least not as bad to come back to, because if we have loot, we can just mirror into front of desert, and we can get them that way.
Correct. So this isn't that this isn't as bad as you would think it is. Now, okay, that's flippers.
All right.
So that is that's a sword available to us.
Okay, so that is a sword. I can't remember if Jesse has checked the tablets.
No. I don't think he's got a chance to check the tablets.
So yeah, I mean, okay, so flippers. What do the flippers do for us?
Swamp.
Yeah, 1 check in swamp.
Not even 1 check a swamp. We've got Oh right, because you have a swamp. We don't have a swamp spell. Never mind.
I was waiting for that to say swamp palace.
If that said swamp palace, that actually was like that was the most perfect. That would have been the most perfect segue, and that was completely unintentional.
Oh, check Bomba's tablet was just couch. Okay. Yeah, an ether tablet we're probably gonna do with like Turtle Rock is my guess. Okay, these BMOs are giving Jesse a lot of trouble.
Alright, so that so at the moment, as far as we're concerned, I think if we really want to talk leads, honestly, I think Jesse has a pretty good advantage over Captain.
Oh yeah, no, in multiple ways.
Yeah, like not even like in terms of like taking execution and looking at what the item breakdown is and what the decisions have made. I think Jesse has definitely have significant advantages as Captain now finally gets that GT big key. A lot of the decisions that Jesse had done ended up being really good. Like, for example, that what we just saw from Captain, the Agena check being earlier, that resulted in GT big being found earlier. Sure, it's a minor thing. That's a minor thing to point out, but it is significant because we need that for the climb.
Yeah, and I mean, just because you found it earlier, that doesn't necessarily mean it was more efficient. Because Jesse did Agena with the dam, whereas Captain I believe, is routing this in with desert.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There's the second sword for Radical Sniper, and we're getting a save and quit. We are going to the mountain.
This is. I would assume this would be for the not only the ether tablet check, but also I guess it wouldn't really be for TR, but
I mean, you can do TR. You'll just get you'll just get locked out of TR though. If you well, okay. So on 2 keys, we can go all the way to Laser Bridge, provided we skip Lava Chest.
right. So we're gonna get this ether tablet check, but I think really I don't. The play doesn't feel good. Ice big, it's for one check, so it's not that crazy.
Yeah, Ice Big is again one of those big keys that like you don't really mind seeing it, but it's like you also don't really care.
So Jesse's gonna do that play. I guess really I don't. It's not not a terrible call, just because you can go to Laser Bridge by skipping the lava chest. You have ether anyway, so it does. There is some credence to it. You also don't have access to roller room because of like a fire rod.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, so no fire rod means that we can't do roller room. It's only 2 checks though, and it's right in the front of the dungeon, so we have to double dip this. We can just go and do those 2 checks and then kill Trinix provided that. And yeah, just kill Trinix.
So that Meyer, so that desert, excuse me, so that so I'm blanking. So the library check was a Meyer Small from Captain. Someone was actually asking in the chat about what that small key was, and I didn't mention it until later, until just now, in fact.
And Meyer is actually well, okay. So one Meyer small key is good. There's the small. All right. So that's really good for Jesse. Meyer, one small key is good for routing. We don't care about getting the other 2. The only thing that getting 2 more small keys would do is put left side in logic, which we would gladly do anyway, even on 0 keys.
Correct. Yeah. So this, actually, just looking at the layout of the items, this actually doesn't look. This actually kind of is pretty bad. Just like, not gonna lie, this feels bad. Like, this feels like a bad state to play. Because like you just gotta swamp small out of green pendant feet, turtle rock, of which we can't complete.
Yeah, but at the same time though, we can just full clear swamp.
Right. Which is good. That is really good. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like actually looking at the items, this feels like a bad seed. I have an inkling of it.
Well, listen, if it does turn out to actually be bad, you can't blame me for this one.
Oh yeah, because we've got Agahesh who rolled to this seed for us. So at least I don't have to chastise you again.
I'm going to be honest. When I got that DM from you that just says, I dubbed the king of bad seeds, I was laughing. I was smiling, like grinning ear to ear, because I'm just like, okay.
This is an actual DM, by the way. I did say this. We're not making this up for the sake of making a joke, but this I did straight up tell Jaxie. I think the second time I was just coming solo, and he rolled a seed. I'm like, dude, I dub the king of bad seeds. You have usurped me as the king of bad seeds.
I usurped you long ago.
Well, yeah, because oh yeah, because I'm now just doing commentary from here on out.
Ah, yes, we love our setup helpers. Alright, so now it's gonna be Laser Bridge for Radical Sniper. This is 4 items, and somewhere we got a Riot Shield, so guess what? We don't need to do laser skips.
Oh,
there's the flute. Okay. That's logically locked behind the...
Oh,
okay!
Oh,
Alright then, yeah. Yeah, TR is the play. That is just an objective fact. TR is the play.
Yeah, that is a save quit for Jesse. That is this green oh wow. Yeah, so that mirror shields, I guess you want to call it a rare shield, but I don't really like that name personally speaking. That ended up being actually a good find for Jesse, even though despite the fact that it is a mirror shield and it does cover up a good chunk of the sprite. And that actually it also works out because it doesn't have to do laser skips or anything, and flutes and fire rod came out of this, so yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, and I did point this out. So that is logically locked behind 3 TR smalls. So that means that the mire area will at most have 1 TR small, but it's likely that there probably won't be a TR small. And we also found a castle tower small somewhere. I have no idea where we found that.
Probably I wasn't even not even in a CT, or not even CT, but like not even in Turtle but it looks like it was found in pod, so.
Oh, it was in pod? Okay.
Yeah, so we have as far as our go mode situation is concerned, we are looking for Mire big and a CT small.
Mire big, CT small, and a TR small.
Yes, okay. So that's go -4/5 depending on the bombos.
Oh yeah, right. I did completely forget that, yeah. Mire Medallion could still be bombos.
Yes, that's why I did the 4/5 because it's really dependent on the bombos. Because I knew that's still a thing I always do in my head where it's like, okay, 4 or 5, like just, if I have a Strogo, if I still have a Strogo still standing.
Okay, yeah, so he does have the Desert Big.
Yeah, he did go into he did go up to the castle tower and he did pick it up.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for him because he did end up double dipping Desert as a consequence of waiting for CT.
Mm-hmm. and really quick to answer a question from, in fact, our tracker Raka. So I use the term Shrogo as a shorthand for Schrodinger's Go mode. So that'd be like SCHRO dash go. Just because it saying Schrodinger's Go is too much syllables. Shrogo just makes it to a nice 2 syllables. But the point still gets across that it's still Go mode, but not. We are going to see a pedestal check from Jesse, which is fine because we have mirror, we have a book, so we'll check this out now. And it is boring. No surprises there.
Yeah, and surprisingly, contrary to regular seeds, pedestal is actually not like a treacherous location in 80 keys because you have to do all the dungeons anyway, so it's like, oh, ped's required, then it's just, okay, I'm just doing these 3 dungeons before I do, you know, whatever dungeon I need to do to, you know, get all 7 crystals.
Yeah, so in layman's terms, if there is a required item on the pedestal, it's like, oh, cool, that's fine. I can make this work. We're going through all the pendants anyway because to do the requirement. So we're not really that upset about it. It's just, hey, that's a free item right here.
Alright, looks like Jesse is going into ice. And we see from the top left that ice is a pendant.
And it also reveals that we have a Turtle Rock Small sitting in the Pengator room.
Yep, so that's one of the things we need, provided that something that we need is not in lava chest.
Yeah, 3/ so it's now 3/4 in terms of go modes.
I mean, if you have everything you need minus CT small, you're just gonna treat it like it's go mode.
Right.
That's why Desert Small in the Icebreaker chest, which is not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible because we just got float here and we can easily get to desert right with that.
Now I have been bringing up lots of things relating to like double dipping and triple dipping and decision making on orphaning checks. Mm-hmm. The amount of times that you dip a dungeon, like you don't want to have to double dip or triple dip a dungeon unless you absolutely have to, like hard required. So there is a tendency like to balance out between overworld and dungeons, because we want to single dip as many dungeons as we can because that's most efficient. But overworld's also pretty dense as well.
Yeah, generally you would want and this applies to any game mode. That's not just 80 keys, but generally you prefer to go and do it all in one go, and you don't want to go in more than once.
Yeah, and in regular like non-keys modes, it's actually worse to have to take a double dip that you don't have to, because like there's nothing else that is shuffled other than just the items.
Right. All right, so Jesse is about to fight this cold stare. We've got half magic, so we have a fire rod ready to go. We'll have a lot of fire rod shots after the fact. If Jesse had another half hearts, that would be more shots because of the behavior of if you use your sword beams while you use a fire rod, it also counts as a fire rod shot.
I never try to do those because I can't trust my reaction time to be in sync. And also, I can't trust myself to get down there with full health.
The actual sword beam part is actually very, very generous. You don't have to be like you don't have to do it all in sync. It just you have a bit of leeway with it.
All right, we're finally getting a look at the mire area. And we did get a desert small somewhere. I believe Jesse got a desert small.
That was a nice.
Yeah. So we can do the 2 checks there. It is Quake, so Bombos is not required.
Yeah, so we have.
Thankfully.
Yeah, so we end up having the reverse vanilla medallions. So that now elevates it to straight up Mire big and Castle Tower small. So that's I believe that's just 2. Or I'm also missing one other thing.
Yeah, so Cap is missing Cap is missing a TR small, but he's going to be getting it when he goes to do. Can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was Skull.
I'd like to think that's the
Tracker
case.
will probably know that better than me.
I'd like to believe that's the case.
All right, and now we're gonna get checkerboard. Just a map, which we don't care about at this point, because we have all of our pen and crystal information.
Yeah, especially I was gonna bring it up because we especially don't really care because of the fact that we have pen and crystal knowledge. So that swamp ends up being a crystal by process of elimination.
Yeah. So Cap needs a TR small, and he does also need that Mire big. Flute as well, and Fire Rod, but he's going to be getting both of those when he goes to Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the riot shield was.
Yeah, that mirror shield, and again, I don't really like the term riot shield in this context, but ends up being there, and I did catch that, but never called it out. As far as I'm gonna actually to answer a question, I'm gonna actually spin the term a little bit. As far as who has the advantage, not who's winning, I would say it's Jesse. But we are now in swamp, so we'll see how this what this ends up being. If this is Mire big, we're looking for, and then another Castle Tower small. Now, Mire big gives us GT mode, of which we'll be hunting for Castle Tower come the time when we have to go up to GT.
Also, just an FYI for our tracker, I believe Jesse's on 4 keys because there is no 5th GT small you can get.
I think that's because I do remember hearing this.
Not drop shuffle.
Yeah, I believe this is something that I think that I think it was an issue with the tracker at the moment, from what I've heard.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Is it really?
I don't know. Ask Sigma.
I think it's. I would like to believe it's an unintended oversight, or not even a bug. Probably a bug with the system. Just thinking it's 6 keys no matter what on every dungeon. It's not just pod.
Alright, and Jesse is deciding to do left side swamp. 2 items from go mode. Yeah, I would do this. Maybe not on the first trip. But I would definitely go back in. Compass to skull on the west chest, and the vanilla big key chest, just big 20.
Okay, so. Oh, we didn't even do the spiral or the circle here. So interesting. There's a Skull Woods big.
Oh, that is awesome, because that is the big key you don't want to see ever.
Yeah, you at this point in the game you do not want to go. That Skull Woods big key. You don't want to see.
That's Skull Big Chest is dead to me at this point. Like, I'm not going back there ever.
Yeah, like there's no reason for you to go back in at this given point. So there's our last Turtle Rock Small. That's our that does bring everything into logic, which includes the lava chest.
Yeah, so yeah, I actually don't know. Yeah, so Cap's on 2, and Jess is on 4, so we will be able to get lava chest in his second death.
Captain having a little bit of trouble with this diver down setup, but does eventually get it.
All right, and now onto Argus with the Master Sword. This is actually my favorite way to fight Argus, because you get to do doubles like this.
Yeah, this fight isn't terrible, because with this, most people like to think it is, but not really. If you know how to do the double setup, even a triple setup for that matter, then this fight becomes not too bad.
All right, just a quick kill. Nicely done.
There's our Meyer big. I can. So here's the thing. I completely forgot we did not have hair big. I thought we had it.
No. That's why I was holding my breath, because I knew we didn't have Hera big yet.
That is my own L I'm gonna take there.
Hera is not. Well, I mean, actually, Hera is
fine.
Oh, he's gonna follow that. Oh no, he's gonna do TR first, and then he's probably gonna follow the Hera big.
But that's fine. That's a sensible play.
Chat asking, do you wait until you beat G to go back to Hera? If I full clear GT looking for the CT small key, and by that I mean beat Aga 2, with the amount of checks that we have left in the game, I'm not going back up to the mountain for a very long time.
Yeah, and in this scenario, you're probably better. Your best bet is to clear, like, given this seed in this particular scenario, it's best to go and do Turtle Rock now and then follow Eastern Big, or sorry, Hera Big. So it makes a bit more sense to do Turtle Rock now that you have Fire Rod. You also have you have all your small keys to go ahead and to finish up what you started. And an already stacked Green Pennant Turtle Rock. Which, by the way, this is Green Pennant, so we still have Slash Roll on call.
Yeah, and because we have Flute, we can do that basically whenever we want. There's the third Skull Small, which we do not care about. Hey, Mothulus in Logic.
Which we don't care about.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice to pay attention to the logic, because that can help you deduce where things can be. But usually if we can do something, if we can clear a dungeon, we don't care about the logic, we'll just clear it.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep this going here. We are gonna now see this lava chest. At this point in the game, too, that whatever big key that we see, we know that this is Meyer Big.
Yep, because we have all others. Alright, so lava chest was nothing, so Cap's probably gonna come up to TR. And provided he did not skip lava chest. Actually, so our tracker was curious whether or not I couldn't see that menu. That was too fast. Did Cap get the flute and fire rod?
No. I don't believe he's went up the Turtle Rock yet.
He has to have been Turtle Rock because he has the mirror shield.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, he probably has it by now. Then he probably has it by now, or unless he didn't do Laser Bridge.
I mean, if he didn't do Laser Bridge, then that means that he opened lava chest.
That may have been it.
Yeah, now he's following Hera Big first.
But that could explain why he's I don't know. So Captain is setting up for the Philly pot, which is something that it was one of the big hero pot methods for its time, where you had 4 pixels of leeway to get into the hero pot before it was superseded by the Lord Raiden setup, and then eventually the bread pots.
Yeah, I still use the Lord Raiden setup. The bread pot setup, in my opinion, it's easier, but in my opinion, I think it's slower.
I think even still, Lord Raiden is still in a way slower because comparatively to Super Speed Hero Pod, if you get it first try, which goes without saying. I think in both instances, I believe Lord Raiden's setup is still like either both Lord Raiden and Breadpot are, I believe, equal in terms of how fast they are. I'd have to test it, and I'd have to test it for myself. But given how I feel it, just from feeling it, I feel it might just be they're probably equal in like, and just Breadpot is just a much more freer Lord Raiden. Alright, so that that Hera Big did not yield anything. So at this point, I think we go for Green Panda here for Chess C. Because yeah, Green Panda is still standing.
Yeah, I mean, Green Pendant here is like what else do we have left besides going into Mire? And Captain is following Skull Big Chest. But to be fair, he can pair this in with Killing Moth.
That is not a good thing.
But never mind. It's on Green Pendant.
Okay, so we are now sitting at a GT mode now.
That's GT mode. But we're still gonna be clearing. Actually, Radical Sniper might go mode this, or at least if he's not gonna go mode, he's gonna skip cutscene chest.
I think if we're talking in the context of a tournament in a tournament scenario, if this was a hypothetical tournament scenario, I would say his Captain's one out has to be this Hera basement.
Yeah, that would literally be the only out, because that Hera Small is in a very inconvenient place. Like, you don't go back for Skull Big Chest ever, because it's just that orphaned.
Correct. Yeah, it's yeah. That's again. This is speaking in a hypothetical tournament scenario. If these two were in a tournament race, like if you've seen the mentor tournament, the main tournament, you've heard the term outs being used before to describe what are the chances of this one runner getting back into this when someone doesn't already have what they need, or they're still looking for one thing. And this is a more of a hypothetical scenario. It's a daily race, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I figured it would be a hypothetical scenario just to give a for sake of example.
I am shocked that Jesse is doing cutscene chess. I figure one item from Go mode, you would skip this.
I mean, you're still Hunter with the big key, no? Or not?
He has the big key.
Right. See, this is non-key standing mode going into my I clicked down for my brain. But that out did not yield anything for Captain, and now he's actually just sitting in his menu right now. He's probably looking over what he probably missed, judging by what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, he's definitely lost, which is unfortunate. I mean, so like, okay, where are you going?
Yeah, I think in this is a scenario where if you see a runner just kind of taking a lot of time on like a file select or spawn point, or even looking at the tracker or sitting still, and they haven't forfeited yet, that's probably a telltale sign that they're probably just looking at their map checker, trying to figure out what they missed. There's the powder though.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so fake powder, definitely something that saves a lot of time in this seed.
Yeah, it which is kind of amusing, because that logic, that whole logic, that brings it back into brings everything to logic. For the at least for that, I think the thieves sound big. So,
hey, we got a sword.
We're not saying no to that.
Yeah. All right, Captain. Are you going back into Turtle Rock?
This is probably the TR play. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he did. He not. Yeah. I would be shocked if he did not do Laser Bridge. So hopefully we should still see one small key on his HUD.
I reckon he still didn't do love. I reckon he didn't do love. Yeah.
Two.
He probably, which means he probably has what, 3?
That means that he, yeah, yeah, I think that does mean he has 3. Because he's gotten 4 items, which means that he's gotten the map chest, the Chain Chomp's chest, the big chest. What would the 4th be? Oh no, he did not open lava chest, did he?
Well, I'm gonna let's. That was not open.
Okay,
that
good.
that must have been Crystal Roller then.
Yeah, it was Crystal Roller. I don't understand. Okay, why would you do Crystal Roller Room, but not do Laser Bridge?
Yeah, that's
unless he somehow didn't have enough keys.
That might be something that we might want to ask at the interview, because I don't know, because that door is locked. So
yeah, so he has to have 3 right now.
That has to be 3, yeah.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate because he was. It seems like he was waiting all this time to be able to, do TR. But in this scenario, waiting actually hurts you more than it helps.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it doesn't help at all to wait. Now that I think about it, because you're just saying, oh, there's you're just like, the flute and fire rod definitely cannot be here, right? They are.
Yeah, that I believe may have been the problem that he was studying at. He's and no, before you ask, that is not in any way a rage slash. He's doing this just to have the mirror shield on his side.
Yeah, that's actually I think that's actually the vanilla way of how you're supposed to do that puzzle.
Yes, because you get the mirror shield here anyway. But anyway, we're at GT now. I guess if you really want to do a guessing game, go from 1 to infinity.
1 to, I mean, if you want to guess, 1 to 27 that it's in GT, and 0 if it's not.
Or something like that. Or that's why I said 1 to infinity, or the letter E, or even I.
Imaginary numbers.
We all live in a. This seed is sponsored by the Manuel Brat set.
All right. So the unfortunate thing about this fight is that you have to do hammer Trinex, but it looks like Captain's actually just doing a combination of fire rod shots with master sword slashes. Another big 20 and another big 20.
That's a lot of ponies. We are not doing full right. I'm sad.
Why would you do full right?
Because it's funny. Because it's funny. No one ever does full right.
I do full right only if I'm like if I'm going into GT and I don't have a mirror, I 100% will do full right.
That's the thing. It's funny. It's only funny when you have the mirror and you do full right anyway. No one ever does that. And especially no one ever does in the original DM route, and not the one where not the more common one where you stop at the small key.
All eyes are on Radical Sniper right now as he's going through GT, looking for this CT small, which hopefully will not be deep within the dungeon. It hopefully certainly will not be in the post-Moldorm chest.
Yes, but the question remains, like if it's not here, then where else could it be?
And that's the thing, is that you make these risks in 80 keys because you know you're gonna be full clearing the game. Like, you go into an 80 key seed, like, I'm going to full clear the game, probably looking for my go mode. Nice silver arrows. And there's our Bombos Battalion.
Let me cook for a second. Seeds. Wait, let me try again. Seeds since last silvers in GT 0.
The chat asking if it can be in CT. No, because we got both items in CT. Checking the big chest first because it's faster. Just the 10 arrows.
I'm smirking because, like, if I was still playing this competitively, I would totally have a counter that says silver seeds since last silvers in GT, just because, like, Scottish.
Yay!
There it is. We got it. So that's going about at 146, 44, 45. So yeah, there we go. We're out of here. All you gotta do now is just climb. I'm curiously, I wonder what Jesse's looking for still.
I actually don't know what he's looking for.
Unless he's doing this just because why not?
Yeah, actually, what is he? Also, I appreciate this rendition of the trainer theme from. I mean, I think this sounds more like the theme from Let's Go, in my opinion.
Yeah, the 8-bit Big Band has really good renditions of tracks. As from this MSU alone. Like I only knew about it because of the MSU. Like they got some really good tracks, like really good renditions. They have like I believe they're an actual band, if I'm not mistaken. They did that travels.
Actually,
yeah. So
wait. Why would Jesse do tower in there? I'm a little confused.
I think it's more just so because he can. I don't think there's a really good definitive reason. He might be, but I think it might be the case is that he may be still hunting for something, and he doesn't realize he's in Gomo yet.
What would he be hunting for, though?
That's the thing.
He has literally everything he could ever want.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. He probably thinks he isn't in go mode, but until he didn't realize, oh, he's in go mode. Unless again, I'm probably more thinking. I'm more thinking that. I'm thinking he just did it because he can, just because why not? He knows he's in go mode, but he did it anyway.
He did not get the other CT small, apparently, according to chat. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Okay. Eviction pod big key chest. That's actually. That's actually not bad because he's gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna spat at the pyramid and then he's literally right next to pod.
Yeah, this isn't so effective. So realistically speaking, this isn't bad. So I don't know. So I guess our tracker didn't accommodate for that. I guess it threw us off. I thought we were in go mode because just because of that there's that other council tower or small that was sitting there, but we didn't think that was the other one. All right, then I guess now we're still in GT mode.
Yep.
Effectively. But this is for at least in Jesse's case, this is still GT mode. But in our cases, no.
No, pod. The tracker is going to confuse pod big key chest, not pod big chest.
Yeah, pod big chest was checked, but not pod big key chest. There's a distinction there. So we are going to see the last 4 checks, which happens to have gold sword. And there's red meal, so we are now fully equipped here.
Yeah, he's got literally everything.
Fully equipped minus 2 hearts, which doesn't really matter. It's not a full 100%, but we'll effectively call it 100% here.
Surprise! This was secretly a Hondoki sanity.
I hate the fact that's still a thing.
I mean, not in this season of the ladder.
Yeah, because that wasn't that like last season or what?
It was going to be this season, season 19, but there's the feature in the door randomizer that has the collection counter on the HUD, but that didn't get added, so Dunko decided to forego that and just replace it with regular ADT sanity.
Which I mean, the thing was so here's my take on it. I think that would have been a logistical nightmare. Unless okay, there's Jesse's the fact that there's a castle tower small here.
All right, so yeah, Jesse has not done this. This is just a hard piece. Now Jesse's going to take out the flute and go away from where he needs to go. Oh wait, no, he actually might flute to 5. No, he's fluting to 4. Oh, is this a pyramid fairy play? Yeah, this makes sense. He's gonna do pod after.
Yeah, which that's this is the only time you're doing Pyramid Fairy here.
Alright, so now Jesse's gonna go back to pod and get that last CT small. And then he just needs to go back and complete Castle Tower. Yeah, Jesse is not in go mode yet. He will be very shortly. Right, big key chest coming up. And gold 156.13. Alright, and back to Castle Tower we go. Oh yeah, get your guesses in for how many blue balls you think Haggle will step out us. Let's see here, 3, 2, 4, 0. I will go with my usual guess of 6. Just making very quick work of the Saga Tower. All right. Now, here we go. So we got a multi-kill on Cap's side. I believe that was 1, 2.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, is this a pedestal pole?
Yeah, he's blind pulling ped. I believe that's 3. All right. Yep. So that was 3, which is normal for Aga. All right. Now let's go kill Ganon. Was this Final Fantasy?
Yeah, this is FF6.
Yeah, I could recognize FF6 is one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I mean it's an iconic piece. It's a very iconic game for a lot of people. So phase 4 coming on the way.
2 arrows. It looks like we're getting set up for another double. 1 and 2, and we're done.
Yeah, so that is going to be GG's out for Radical Cyber 99, also known as Jesse, who will get the official race time in just a little bit. And Jesse will finish first on the restream with an official race time, that GG time of 2:01:40, which is good enough for third overall amongst 9 runners. The first place being Humbug with 1:54:58, and then second was Vortex of Doom at 1:59:07.
We'll see if we can get Radical Sniper in here for an interview. But yeah, like, so that was like what, maybe close to like 7-minute difference between first and Jesse. Like that's not bad at all in 80 keys.
Yeah, so let's see if we'll get an interview out for let's see if Jesse will join us for an interview. And in the meantime, we'll have Captain trying to finish this out here. So just figuring out what he wants to do here.
Yeah, I mean, like, you definitely, like, he is lost. Like you can tell that he's, he's thinking and thinking and thinking. Yeah, through and through and through. I'm trying to think, what has he skipped? Like where was this other CT small? Oh wait, no, it's in GT. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it's a GT.
Yeah, so which he is surprisingly not going to.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a case where he hasn't really he doesn't realize that he he has GT ready to go here, or
I mean,
he
has all 10 regular dungeons done.
Yeah, he has everything all done, but then where else do you go? Unless he probably forgot about it. I don't know. I'll have to ask in the interview, Biff.
Okay, yeah. No, so just getting confirmation here. He put in a forfeit, so we can get him in for an interview now. But we are joined by Jesse. So GG's.
Oh, Jesse.
Hello, GG. Yeah. Sorry, had to step aside for a second. You know, been playing for a couple hours. You're like, oh god, gotta run real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. That was something.
And there's a captain in the booth of us. GG's. Once we have captain in the booth, that is.
Hey, GG.
GG's.
GG.
I missed something.
Yeah, you missed all of Ganon's tower.
I missed Meyer Big Key, whatever that was.
Oh yeah, Meyer Big. Wait. Our tracker says you have it. Well, I would be willing to take. Meyer Big Key. Where was that? Oh, it was on Green Pendant, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yep, that was the last thing. Yep. There we go.
And here we are. We're thinking we actually had Meyer. Did clear Meyer.
Yeah.
Nope. That was,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I literally full cleared the entire game though. Besides that, so yeah.
Yeah. And it's never a good feel. Like, you go into ADPs, with the mindset that I'm going to full clear the game, probably looking for my go mode. And in this case, you did, which is the worst case scenario. Because, I'm pretty sure that, Green Pendant is literally your last location.
Yeah, it is. Of course, I find Hera big, immediately go up to Hera, then I find the Hera small right after that, and go right back up to Hera. It's just bad routing all around. No.
Wait, where's the Hera small?
Go with
the Hera
big chest,
small,
I think.
Yeah, it was in Skull Big Chest.
Oh, okay. I guess that would have been next after Pod.
Yeah.
Because we're going for I'm about to see my CR soon, and I was just like, this has to top a 200.
Oh, so I had the CT small early, because...
Yeah, that was the one stumbling block for me. Seeing Vortex and Humbug ahead of me, I was like, okay, they obviously had a go mode CT small and GT, whereas I had a lot else. I feel like my big get also became something that hurt me, and I was sub 200 still.
And also, me being the idiot, left to the rock before I got the laser bridge, because I forgot I made it all the way to laser bridge.
I was about to say, what was the thought process behind that?
Idiocy. I really don't have an excuse for
that
it.
works.
Well, no, here's the thing. So, I don't know, Captain, your exact situation there, but, here's what I realized when I was in TR and later in the seed. 2 TR smalls were locked by TR. Swamp Palace had one of them, and Ice Palace had another. So 2 of them were locked by the TR die. And then one of them was on Zora, and money early was not great, and I went out of my way to have the money for Zora. So I was kind of like, this was a big thing to have a second TR small on that first trip into TR to pull Flute and Fire Rod. So I was like, I don't think a lot of people planned the money situation, pulled the Eastern Rupee basement, pulled a 50 rupee cave and just had enough. Like what you would have had to have done was probably hit up the mountain early to get the 300 then before the place.
Which
So
I
I was
did.
like, oh, this is okay. But that's the thing. Like, I think it was really hard to hit that second TR small early.
I mean, upon entering the Dark World, you know, you got your mitts on Death Mountain, which means you can do the Death Mountain. You had the mirror, you had everything. You get the hammer. I had a bow, early pod big, a couple pod smalls. Like, let's go beat pod right away. I had like 3 pod smalls going in there, so I full cleared minus the big key chest and the harmless away. So, it was.
Yeah, and that felt reasonable. It was. I got lucky to have 4 because I got the 4th in the back of Thieves, having fake powdered, and then it was just like,
Yep.
as soon as I pulled that 5th out of Desert, I was kind of like, really game. Like,
Yeah, where
I
was
wasn't going for
powder?
powder was in Meyer, big chest.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yep. God. Yeah, I picked powder, and I was like, yeah, I was calling back to our mentor race that you mentored me in, where you told me to pick powder. I was like, this is for Jesse. I'm gonna do it.
It's worth a shot every so often, and you're just like, sometimes it works. And I was just like, you know what? I don't have much else to use magic on right now. Let's throw caution to the wind. Let's do something I haven't done in a while, and hope that it works. And then you get Thieves big, and you're like, sure, this makes perfect sense. Let's go right back into Thieves Town, and then you get that extra pod small, and you're like, cool, I got 4 pod smalls. The 5th pod small's not gonna burn me today. Never. Oh wait.
No. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun though. It was a good time.
Yeah.
PD keys is always fun.
One of the best modes, by far.
Oh well. I mean, I just wish things. You know, my brain worked sometimes, but you know, yeah. Other than that, yeah, it was good.
Well, I guess in that case, I think we should probably wrap up, shouldn't we?
Yeah, let's do
Unless,
that.
Captain or Jesse, you have any other comments?
Thanks for having me on Restream. Thanks for coming. Crack all the fun stuff.
Same. GG, Jess.
GG.